tube. This is, what else? Cats. I'm gonna have to go inside. So, blessings to you and your loved ones. Hope you're staying healthy. Hope you're figuring out a way to make some bread. Hit me up for the crypto mentorship if you want to learn more about blockchain, cryptocurrency, decentralization, decentralized finance. If you need an Ethereum domain name for your wallet, cryptoroots.eth. You can pay me at cryptoroots.eth. You don't even have to look up my hash address. I got you. I can set that up for you. If you need a decentralized website, domain, and hosting, I got you. If you need a multi-signature wallet for your loved ones and family, I got you. Um, and yeah, if you need a crypto miner, Monero miner, if you got a Windows 10 CPU, I can set up a XMR Monero miner on your computer. The market is going up for Monero. Okay, I feel it's one of the most safest cryptocurrency investments I can make. All right, not you should make, but I can make. But and that's because it's the most private cryptocurrency on the market. It's more anonymous than Bitcoin. Today we're doing crypto class. Today we're doing crypto class. It's gonna be a long one today, so get your notes ready. We're gonna be spitting hella games. It's a lot of information, so you're gonna have to rewind the video or hit me up for the mentorship if you want to learn more and how to apply this information, so that it can make you money. See, we already got a cat meowing over here. That's my cat Yang. So today we got to talk about Ampleforth. Ampleforth AMPL. This shit is controversial. A lot of people like it. A lot of people support it. A lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people hate it. It kind of reminds me of when people are first finding out about Bitcoin. Like, how does it work? Why does it give value? Like, how come there no one control? So Ampleforth is causing a lot of confusion in the DeFi game. Okay, here's my cat Yang. Hey Yangy, say hello. Hey, aloha. Aloha. Meow. Um, so we got to understand, how does Ampleforth work, and what purpose or what role does it play in decentralized finance, cryptocurrency, and how it could actually benefit you as an investor. So there's a lot to go over. Where do we begin? Let's start off with inflationary currencies. What is the problem with inflationary currencies? Okay, I wish I had a chat and do the live chat. I wish I did the mentorship, but I'm just going to do this. So the problem with inflationary currencies is that more can be printed. First of all, no one's in control of. Very few people are in control of what can be printed, and the people that are in control have the power to print, and they are printing. And right now, we're going into hyperinflation. This is how all centralized fiat government currencies work. Inflation. Because what they're trying to do is trying to put more money on the market as demand goes up. Well, how does demand go up? Well, more people are being born, more resources are being used, more expansion, more buildings, more production, movies. So there's going to be a demand for more money as more resources are growing up. So that's why they inject more money into the economy. One of the reasons. But yeah, what happens with inflationary currencies is that it drives down the value. It's dilutive. It drives down the value of what's already have been distributed. So that's why you can't use seashells as a form of currency if you live on the beach. Why can't you use seashells as a form of currency if you live on the beach? Well, because anybody can go and get it. So it's really not worth anything because there's so many of it. So that's what the problem with inflationary currencies, okay? Is that it drives down the value of what's already out there. You want to write that down, okay? So, also, what does that do? What does that do? If 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 the longer you hold your currency, the value goes down. What does that incentivize you to do? Does it incentivize you to save? No, it doesn't, because it's going to be worth less tomorrow. So what it does is it incentivizes you to spend it as soon as possible, because that's when it's its most valuable. This is how inflationary currencies work. Okay? So, it write this down. It discourages saving and encourages spending. Inflationary currencies, right? Because there's more being printed, so it's going. If you try to save it like a bank account or cash, then it's going to be worth less in the future. So let me spend it now when it's its most valuable. Okay? So that is the problem with inflationary currencies. Now, The problem with deflationary currencies is that when there's a limited amount, there's only so much. What happens when demand goes up? Well, what happens when demand goes up, supply decreases, right? The price goes up, okay? So if the price goes up and you're buying an asset, and why would you want to spend it? Why would you want to spend it if there's only a limited amount, and so it's going to be worth more tomorrow? So why spend it now when I can just hold on to it like gold and Bitcoin? It's going to be worth more in the future. So this is a lot of people don't understand economics that well, and that's why I want to go over this with you. So deflationary currencies such as Bitcoin have a limited amount, and what it does is it encourages saving but discourages spending, because that's the problem with Bitcoin. No one really wants to use Bitcoin. Why? Because it could be worth more tomorrow. It could be worth more for 5 years from now. Okay? So what that happens is everybody's hodling Bitcoin. Everybody holds on to the product and nobody wants to spend it. So that's a problem with deflationary currencies. So that throws off different with that when it comes to pricing currencies, it throws away off. You either pay too much today or pay too little tomorrow, right? And you can't really it destroys debt and contracts. You can't do that on Bitcoin because the prices and it's vulnerable to sudden shocks in demand. All right, it's Bitcoin's very so Bitcoin goes up and Bitcoin crashes, and you can't really have reliable businesses and contracts and debt with a deflationary currency such as Bitcoin. So we have an issue here. When people say Bitcoin's the end all be all, it's really not. It's really not, because if you understand how economics works, there's a problem when nobody wants to spend their crypto. Okay, there's a problem when nobody wants to spend their crypto. All right, so inflationary currencies discourage saving, encourage spending. And I'm going to say that again. Inflationary currencies discourage saving, encourage spending. Deflationary currencies encourage saving, but discourage spending. Why would I spend it now when it's going to be worth more tomorrow? So we have this gap here that we are currently experiencing in our real lives, especially if you're involved in crypto and especially if you use government fiat money. Inflationary currencies drive down the value, but deflationary currencies such as crypto, they drive up the value, but you can't use it as a form of currency. So there's a gap here, all right? Now, this is where Ampleforth comes into the motherfucking game, okay? This is where Ampleforth comes in. You want to write this down. Ampleforth pretty much solves those two problems by being those two problems. What the fuck is this guy talking about? All right? Ampleforth solves the inflationary problem and the deflationary problem by being both of them at the same time. It's called an elastic supply. You want to write that down. Elastic supply. Elasticity. What that mean? It expands and it contracts like a rubber band. Okay? So, how does this work? How does this work? Well, this is where you really got to take down your notes, okay? This is where you really got to take down your notes. The way it does this, let's just start off with the easiest way. The way it does this is that you don't necessarily really pay attention to the price of Ample. You can, okay? But unlike any other cryptocurrency, more attention to the market cap than you do the price, all right? Now, Ampleforth doesn't try. Let me correct myself. Ampleforth somewhat phases itself to be a stable coin, okay? Somewhat, all right? So how does that work? So the price of Ample can go up. It can go up to $200, $300, $500. Doesn't matter. There's no ceiling like the way a stable coin does, right? So Ampleforth can go above $1 and Ampleforth can go below $1, okay? But it tries to be $1 as much as it can. Now, the way it tries to be $1, what happens is if Ampleforth is above the equilibrium, okay, we'll get into that. There's more everybody gets more money in their wallet. If the price of Ampleforth goes up, that means more people are buying. Well, what happens is if you hold Ampleforth, you automatically, it's called a rebase, you get distributed more Ampleforth in your wallet. All right? I know this probably sounds so confusing. You got to hit me up for the mentorship. And there's other videos, but I have to break this down just so I have it on my channel and people can. So if now, so if more people are buying Ampleforth and the price and demand goes up, you get more Ampleforth, right? It's non-dilutive. Now, if the price of Ampleforth goes below $1 and everybody's selling, you get Ampleforth taken out of your wallet. Everybody at the same time. That's called a rebase. All right, and this is important. This really just changes the whole game of cryptocurrency, and that's why this is only like one phase of the game. That's why I have to go over this on my channel. So if the market cap goes up, you get more Ampleforth, right? So if everything's being inflated, well, you beat inflation by getting more. And this is how CEOs get paid. They get paid like above the inflation rate. So not only do they get paid for the work they do, but based on the inflation rate for the year, they get paid that and maybe a little bit more just to beat out inflation. Workers don't get paid. Employees don't get paid that way. CEOs get paid based on the inflation. So they're not really getting the value of what they make less. They get more of it, so it stays about the same, right? So that's how that's the expansion part of the protocol for Ampleforth. If the market cap goes up and the price goes up, well, everybody that holds Ampleforth doesn't get their value less. It doesn't get diluted. It doesn't become less. No, everybody gets more. So basically, your slice of the pie stays the same. So if there's a whole pie, if like just look at a table and you and your family, and somebody says you get 10% of that pie, no matter how big or how small the pie, you own 10. Even if people eat the pie, you still get 10% of that slice that's still left. So you don't get diluted. And the same thing with the contraction of Ampleforth, okay? So when Ampleforth is below the target price, we'll get into that, everybody's selling, right? Everybody's selling. So in order for your value not to go down, you get less. Everybody at the same time gets Ampleforth taken out of their wallet. So regardless of how much Ampleforth you have, your slice of the market cap, your piece of the pie stays the same. Now this is something we've never seen before. We dream of money showing up in our wallet. We dream of that, and we fear money leaving our wallet. But we have to expect that when it comes to Ampleforth. That's the catch. People don't know about the target price. People don't know about the rebase. They think it's just another cryptocurrency, and that's where they get fucking wrecked. They get wrecked hard, and this is what happened with XAMP Finance. People didn't understand what they're getting themselves into, and you have to understand because Ampleforth opens a new gateway to cryptocurrencies, and more cryptocurrencies are coming off based off this concept. All right, so this takes economics and finance to a whole different level. People just can't even keep up with. All right, so it's called expansion, contraction. All right, just understand this: your slice of the pie stays the same, no matter the market cap. All right, and everybody, not just you, everybody's getting money put into their wallet every 24 hours, depending on we are at equilibrium or not, and everybody's, so it's not just you losing Ampleforth. No, the value of your portion of the market cap stays the same. So just rewind the video, do a little bit more research. All this is new information, okay? So yes, it's non-diluted, right? You don't become worth less, right? You get it's every 24 hours to go through a rebase, okay? So this is how Ampleforth tries to, how they get their target price, to understand whether they need to expand or contract or stay at equilibrium, right? So Ampleforth relies on two different oracles, right? So the first oracle they rely on is the exchange rate Ampleforth for USD. It's just the basic exchange rate. Now, the second oracle they rely on is called a CPI. Write this down. Consumer Price Index. Okay? Consumer Price Index. And from that consumer price index, there's a target price. That shows the target price. Now, what is the target price? Well, the target price based on the Consumer Price Index is, write this down, $1, 1.009. Okay? 1.009, not 1.9 cents, no, 1.009. That is the target price. What that price is the actual, it's the 2019 purchasing power of the US dollar. Okay? It's the 2019 purchasing power of the US dollar. That is what Ampleforth refers to as the equilibrium threshold. The equilibrium threshold is $1.009. Okay, if we're above that, now we're based on a 5% ratio. Okay. Yes, exactly. Tokens are added and removed, but your slice of the pie stays the same. So that's what people freaking out. They think they're just gonna make money and lose money. Your slice of the pie stays the same. So if you really want to make money in Ampleforth, you look at the market cap. If you want to come up, the market cap is how you come up, not the price. All right, the price can still go up, which is good, but everybody gets the same. Everybody every day gets more Ampleforth. So as long as the market cap goes up, that's when you're making money in Ampleforth, right? Because the pie gets bigger and the pie gets bigger, and you always have 10% of that pie, no matter how big or how small, right? So now, the 2019 purchasing power of the US dollar is the target price, and that's based on the consumer price index. This is what the equilibrium threshold is for the Ampleforth protocol. You're either at 1.009 or 5% above or 5% below. That's called the equilibrium threshold, okay? All right, that's a lot. That's a lot. Sorry about all the bird noises. I'm in the jungle on the beach. All right, so now Bitcoin is non-dilutive, all right, which is a good thing, but it's vulnerable to sudden shocks in demand, all right? And also, there's very tight correlation with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So you know how Bitcoin kind of moves the market? If Bitcoin goes up, it's just a matter of time before all the other cryptos goes up. If Bitcoin drops, it's very correlated. A lot of it's, for the most part, it's correlated. Ampleforth is non-correlated, and that's what throws it off for people too, because Ampleforth is not necessarily going to act like Bitcoin. So Bitcoin can do one thing, but Ampleforth can do a whole nother thing, while everybody else is following Bitcoin, even Ethereum. And so Ampleforth acts like as a non-correlated crypto asset in the crypto market, which is blows a lot of people's minds. So because they've set up their trades based on what Bitcoin does, but Ampleforth doesn't really. I ain't listening to you. Fuck Bitcoin. I don't care if Bitcoin going up. I don't care if Bitcoin goes. And Ampleforth is like, I'm doing my own shit based on my own protocol. Right now, also, so yes. Now every day at 2 a.m. UTC time, a rebase function can be called. I think people actually have to call this function. I think anyone can call this function. Just, it's like push the button. Literally, at any time, anybody can push the button. But I think someone needs to push the button. So every 24 hours, 2 a.m. UTC time goes through a rebase. All right, that rebase determines whether it's equilibrium, if it needs to do stay and do nothing, or expand or contract. Okay. All right, so for example, if you buy Ampleforth at $1, right, and the demand goes up to Ampleforth for $2, right? So you buy it at $1, but the price increase because more people are buying, so now Ampleforth is $2. After the rebase, you get 2 amples worth $1. That's the dope part. You get 2 Ampleforth, so you didn't lose anything, even though the price went up, right? You get more money so that it's still worth whatever the price is at that point. But same thing on the opposite side. If you buy Ampleforth at $1, but the price decreases to 50 cents, well, what happens is you get zero point 0.5 Ampleforth taken out, and now your 0.5 is equal to 50 cents. So you still match the market, but money's put in and money's put out of your wallet, but that's because of the rebase, and that's what keeps your slice of the pie again. So like I said, if you buy Ampleforth for $1 and the price goes down to 50 cents, now you get half the Ampleforth taken out, so you have 0.5 Ampleforth, which is equal to 50 cents. You see where this is going? This is how Ampleforth works. So that's all based on rebasing. So it's less shocks to the cryptocurrency, and you can and it's basically a form of risk management too. It's a form of risk management, and also so it's like a unique DeFi Lego block. Now, you can do what you want with it based on this, but it really kind of it could be used as collateral, meant to use risk management and to be less shocks in the system. It's kind of like, it absorbs some of the crazy crypto shocks. All right, so Partially increase across all wallets, 24-hour volume, both change in total supply algorithm. All right, that's pretty much how Ampleforth works. Okay, is rebasing, and the rebase determines whether the contract needs to, whether the protocol is going to expand, stay the same, or contract. Okay. Now, why do I bring that up? Why do I bring that up? Well, obviously, it could be a potentially good investment, and but what it does is it opens the door, and now we can use this concept of rebasing and expansion and contraction in a whole new way, and this is where we get into anti-ample. Okay, this is where we get into anti-ample and tokens of Babel. Look that up. TOB. I'm putting you on to game. I'm putting you on to game. Very few people know about this. Follow a Twitter account called Build Drummerd. Build Drummerd. Just search Twitter, TOB. There's these secret cyber hackers group called Build Drummond, and what they do is they create new and experimental economic money you experiment that we've never seen before, because we've never seen Ampleforth before, but it could be used as a real currency. So with that being said, anti-ample is like fuck ample. So what they do is they use concepts in ample to actually go against ample, which is like fucking crazy, right? So, and then from XAMPL, we get TOB, Towers of Babel. Now, and then it's on the game, because these developers, I mean, this is experimental money. This is socially experimental, psychologically experimental, financially experimental from and then, economically experimental as how all this works together, and how supply and demand is supposed to, based on game. So you're seeing some really, really top of the line experimental psychological ways of investing money, and that we're not sure how this is going to turn out. Like, a lot of this is an experiment. Yeah, you can get fucking wrecked, or you can make more money than you've ever seen, because the way of the concept. Nobody's just going to create a currency that people can't potentially profit off, because no one's going. So they have to set up dynamics that people can actually, this could really take off, but in a whole different way, unlike any other cryptocurrency. I know this is a lot. Trust me, it's a lot. So anti-ample, they always burn the supply. That's the thing. That's the catch. Because it doesn't expand, it only contracts. So they rebase, but the rebase burns the supply I think it's every 24 hours. Don't quote me on that, anti-ample. So they're like, fuck ample, we're going to do it the opposite. We're only going to have a decrease in supply. So that means money's just being burned. Like, literally, like they have a video of they're throwing money in the fire. That's essentially. So why would you buy a currency where people are it just gets cut every day? Wouldn't that drive the price down? Well, sort of, not really, because if it drives the price down, people who get in early, supply and demand, there'll be less supply and hopefully more demand, and the price can dramatically go up on the rebases. So it's like a weird, who knows how far the money can get burned based on the supply and demand, but it's an experiment to see what would happen if we actually created a money that we just burned every 24 hours. Every 24 hours, there's just less, and that means there's less in your wallet. There's less in your wallet every day. You bought the same year just like shit. There's less in your wallet, but your part of this stays the same. So we're gonna see what happens when Ampleforth supply just gets cut dramatically and just keeps getting control, and like what's gonna happen, and hopefully maybe the price could just skyrocket. I mean, it depends. You only throw a little bit at it. That's the social experiment. It's like every day we're gonna burn money. Every day we're gonna take money out of your wallet and everybody else's wallet. Every day the protocol says that. Every day, and we're just gonna see what happens. Like, so it's like, oh shit. So now but that's one project. So the next project, they came because these are Lego blocks. So the next project is TOB. Look up TOB, Towers of Babel. Now, here's the catch though. Towers of Babel plays that whole rebase game, because now everything is about the rebase. But what Towers of Babel does is every time they reach a new all-time high, every time you reach a new all-time high, so every time the currency is at its all-time high, 1% of the supply gets burned. 1% of the supply gets taken off the market. What the fuck? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You just reached your all-time high. Why are you taking more off the market? You know, what happens is if you, what it does is it's ingenious, right? It's ingenious. And anti-ample and TOB work together ingeniously. So if you reach an all-time high, supply automatically gets taken off the market. And what that does is that encourages people to push it to the next all-time high. So people mean they're gonna buy more. Well, every time they buy the highest, more gets taken out. Well, if more gets taken out, then doesn't that increase the price because the value, right? So it's weird because you break the all-time high, we'll take more from you. So that incentivizes people to buy more. We'll take that from you. So you're seeing people push up the price, but the supply is going down. So as they're pushing up the price, they're making more money. It's weird. It's weird. You think you'd be losing money by buying, but no, you're pushing up the price, you're making money, and the supply is getting decreased. So now you're incentivizing the whole community to buy more, and the supply is getting taken out. So now what you have is should be that much more valuable. These are social experiments with money we've never seen before. So now you can get TOB for free if you get anti-ample. So wait, hold up. I can get TOB for free, airdropped. Look it up, TOB. So I have to buy this currency, and every day it becomes less and less. So everybody's incentivized to buy a currency. That supply gets cut every day. So every day I'm losing more, but I'm buying more because if I buy more, I get TOB. If the price of TOB gets to all-time high, it gets decreased. So you have these two decreasing protocols that are based on rebasing every 24 hours that work together, and you can only trade them on Uniswap between XAMP and TOB. So every time it's kind of a mind. Like they're both decreasing supply. They both are separate cryptocurrencies, but if you buy one, you get more of the other, but it decreases more of the other, and drives the price up of the other than one. So you're gonna see it's confusing, but it's an experiment. We don't know how this ends. People can become fucking rich, or people can lose it all, and we don't know. And this group of developers, look it up on Twitter, Bill Drummond. They're coming out with more protocols and more that are based off this. So now you have Ampleforth just open the door, let the worms out of the Pandora's box, and rebasing, expansion, contraction, and just burning supply. Like now we can experiment with psychology and sociology and money and finance and economics and tokenomics like we've never seen before. And I know it's a lot. You're going to have to rewind the video. I had to go over it so you guys aren't missing out. This is the real game. This is how people are making the money. This is the new. If you stay ahead of the game, you can always see what's going on. Anti-ample could dramatically increase in price all of a sudden due to very limited supply and demand. Same thing with TOB, Towers of Babel. And so I say, well, it doesn't hurt to see what happens. It doesn't hurt to throw 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks. But the rebase, money gets put in, money gets taken out, but your slice of the pie stays the same. With anti-ample, with ample, and with Towers of Babel, the rebase, so it's a new concept. I know I'm going on. I need to wrap it up. Hit me up for the crypto mentorship. Check out if you need a crypto miner, I got you. If you need a decentralized website, I got you. Domain name, I got you. Multi-sig wallet. So anti-ample, ample, TOB, check it out. Much love. Hopefully you learned a little bit. It's a lot of information. Take it easy.